Um, hmm. Life sometimes can be quite frustrating, and sometimes we do feel lost. In a way that, not that we actually necessarily hate life, but it's just that we don't know what we are doing here, right? So that would be kind of like feeling, what is my purpose here? What is the purpose of life in itself? And also, what's the point of living? But it's not that one hates to be alive, but it's more of, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's more of how trying to make things make sense, or say trying to make life make sense. And that's why sometimes we might feel lost. It's kind of like in this thinking process of you trying to seek for something, you're trying to seek for deeper meaning about oneself and also about life. Well, the thing is, I can't, nor am I the one to tell anyone about what life is, to you, to anyone, because this is a personal treasure for everyone to discover. So, like, imagine this. The reason that we don't remember who we are, the day that we're born, as in we don't know where we come from. We don't know where we come from. We don't know why we are on this planet. We don't even know why we have to go through all the stages of life to become something that we might not like eventually. Or in the middle of it, we realize that, I want to change to something else. All the experiences and sufferings and pain and fear and traumas. Even if it seems so dark, and the reason that we forget about who we are initially, like when we come into this planet, from one perspective, it does seem very weird, and it seems like why can't we remember, right? But from another perspective, seeing this is because if you were to remember who you are, how would you be able to go to forge into a new pathway? Like if you already know, now let's do a quick example here. If I say, you don't know what glasses are like, right? Glasses for the eyes. You've never seen one. But you do, okay? Of course you do now. I know you do. You have seen what glasses are. But if I simply tell you that the word glasses, okay? And imagine you've never ever seen glasses. You can only imagine it, or say, listen to how people describe it, or some of them, it's like everyone is trying to piecing things together, and everyone is trying to get a taste of it or make their own taste out of it. This is actually a process. This is a process of developing new pathways, of your own pathways, everyone's own pathways. But if I were to already tell you that the glasses are this, so this is the glasses, then, right, you see it now. You have this preoccupied concept in you already that this is glasses. So what does it mean? It's a limitation. Everything that you try to build upon would be based on this structure. That is a limitation. So if we are to forget who we are when we come into birth here, so from another perspective, which is what I just suggested, is that it is the very reason that we forget who we are would then be able to allow us to forge into a new pathway, because we forget who we are. Because you don't have that limitation in your mind. You don't remember who you were, or who you are, whatever it is. And that's why you would then create a new version of yourself. And that could possibly be one of the reasons, or one of the purposes of what life is about creating new versions of ourselves individually. So yeah, there are many different ways of looking at life, and it really depends on our attitude towards living. Sometimes the frustration can really hit hard. It really can go really hard, and the frustration would feel like it feels like say I representing whoever feels frustration. Like I feel like I've tried so many ways and so many methods, but sometimes it seems right, but then sometimes I'm being proved wrong. And sometimes I thought I'm on the right track, but then I suddenly realized that I'm just kind of like not even halfway there. And then sometimes I thought I'm healed, and then sometimes I just realized that, oh my God, I'm far from that. Sometimes I feel like I just finished this life lesson. I thought that's over, but then just something else just kind of like pops up, and it literally just messed up my entire plan or routine, or things like this. It really sucks. It really sucks, and it's kind of like a wave after wave, and can I just have a break? It's something like that. Sometimes it's just like, just give me a break. Just give me a break. I understand. And do you know what? Like sometimes this kind of frustration, it doesn't have to be having a lot of activities around oneself to cause a person to go into a frustration mode. It can be internal, like emotional-wise, thought-wise, or flashback-wise. It can really cause a person to go through a roller coaster, roller coaster scenario or an episode internally. And sometimes this could be even more scary in a sense, because you have no one to share that experience with you, and that you don't even know how to describe it or verbalize it out. Because even if you verbalize it out, you feel people wouldn't understand, or you have tried it and people would just say you think too much, or you're too sensitive, like stop imagining these things. just focus on doing this. But the fact is, sometimes people can't, right? It is very understandable. It is not something that I asked you to stop thinking, I asked you to stop being sensitive, I asked you to stop being this, being that, then you can do it in a minute. It is not something like it's easy said and done. So those who have never experienced such experiences, very traumatizing experiences, very disturbing experiences, feeling lost, feeling angry at oneself, so it's not about, most of the time it's not about angry about life, it's angry at oneself for not being able to live properly. I would actually say a lot of us, on this planet, we love life. We would love to stay alive. It's just sometimes it gets too hard. It gets so hard that it feels it's not that life fails us, it's like we fail life. Like we fail life. Like I fail to be capable of living a life. That's why it feels like I don't deserve to live. I don't deserve to have this ticket to enter this, to be on this plane anymore. That's why I choose to leave. There's such thoughts like that, and I totally understand. Because life is a piece of beauty. Life is a beautiful mess. Life is a beautiful mess, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of life, because it is beautiful, yet messy, but it's beautiful. That's the paradox of life, and life in itself, it is a paradox in a way, because it is through paradox we can see, we can look at life through so many different lenses. And the beauty of life is that it is not static. It is not only one kind of experience. It's infinite experiences. And it is so messy, but it's through all this messiness, or like mess, that we find, we learn to see the beauty in it. We learn to see through all the chaos. We learn to see through all the BS. We learn to hear all the noises, but we can find peace from within. It is not an easy journey. It is not an easy path. But if you are here on this planet right now, I can assure you that you're one strong soul. And especially at this time, the entire society is in a very frantic state. You see, a lot of young people, many of them are in school, but they don't really know what they want to do. Some of them do, but many of them don't. They feel very disoriented, and they don't really have a plan, nor they really know who they are. They don't really know what they're doing here. One time I was a few months ago, right? 2 months ago, I was tutoring a young lady. She's in grade 10. So I was supposed to tutor her, English, biology, chemistry, and stuff, such and such. But then I know she got kind of like distracted, and she was just tired after school, and she told me that she's actually quite interested in, spirituality and stuff. But she didn't say the word spirituality. She said it in a way, it was something like religion or something like this. But it was not in English, okay? That's why. I don't know the exact translation of that word. And then she told me about it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then at one point she asked me, she was like, what is it? Why I don't, she was like, I don't even know why I'm here. Like, why am I on Earth? Like, what is this? Like, why Earth? Like, or like, why am I here? That's what she asked me. And I was like, you want to know why you're here, or you just basically are questioning your purpose? And then she was like, yeah, kind of like that. And also, what is life? She was like, what is the purpose of me living? What is the purpose of life? Like, why am I doing all of this? And then I said, well, what do you think? I asked her. Yeah, I actually asked her back. I was like, what do you think? Because I see that every person does know. It's just that it takes a little bit of a questioning thing to assist every one of us to, churn out that answer for oneself. Because everyone's answer can be different. Everyone's reason can be different. And then she said, she was like, I don't know. Do we come here just to get married, or what, reproduce? Like, what is it for? Like, it just reproduce, like animals, reproduce, and that's it. Why do we have to go to school? Like, why do we have to do all of this? I really appreciated all her questions, because I really love seeing individuals asking why. Why is a very powerful word. So is what if and why. These two are very powerful words to start with for any questions. And then I said, well, how do you feel about all of this, examples that you've given me? Do you feel like you've learned anything from them, or you feel like they're quite valuable to you? And then she said, like, yeah, it's pretty interesting to have gone to school, to meet people, but there are certain things that I'm unhappy about, and the friends betray me and stuff. And I was like, I was like, yeah, totally, I see that, I understand. I was like, well, then maybe that's one of the reasons. And then she was like, what do you mean? I said, maybe one of the reasons is that you would like to go through this and to learn about things from this, all these events, all these people, interacting with them. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then I asked, then what do you think now? What is the purpose of life here? And then she said, so to go through them. I was like, maybe, just to experience. So we can all look at life in very different ways. Some people would say, oh, life is for fun. Life is to party, just enjoy any kind of moments, or like do crazy things, high risk things, because you only live once, right? Some people see it this way. But whereas for some other people, they see that life is for creativity. They pour their entire heart, the entire the time into creating things, art, or any kind of inventions. And some other people, they would see life is about nurturing. You know, life is about helping other people, or you know, to look after the forest, to look after animals, to cook good food. You know, that's another aspect of life. Some people would take it this way. And then some other people, they would see life is a money game. You know, it's for playing with resources, playing with different kind of tactics, games. Well, that's perfectly fine as well. So it really depends on which angle we choose to approach life, because life is, to me, is it's like X, you know, like X, Y, Z in algebra, math, mathematics, algebra, like X, Y, Z. You can literally insert anything into it. It is your choice of how you want to experience life, and it really depends on one's own will and one's own attitude towards life. Your purpose is to be yourself. It's actually that simple. It sounds very simple, but it doesn't seem to be that simple. And I totally understand that, because the entire journey is to know oneself, right? Know thyself. So the purpose is to know oneself. And this is what some other people would coin it as self-actualization, which is one would go into this journey of self-discovery, a lot of trial and errors, a lot of trial and tribulations, and it's through these all these back and forth, which means balancing. One would then come into a more neutral state. And it's when one is moving towards the neutral state, would then be able to see clearer and clearer of who one is, oneself is. It is a process, and it is not about attaining it or reaching it. It's about the process. It's about the journey. The destination is the journey. The goal is the journey. To reach to somewhere, the reaching, the final destination of something, is in the process. It's in every moment that we choose to see life differently. We choose to see life, we choose to trust life, we choose to trust the process, because we know that it is all about my own will. If I want to learn more about myself, if I want to know who I truly am, because I'm already here. It doesn't feel comfortable to be here, but I know I can make it. It's kind of like you only live once, you know, it's like that kind of mentality as well. Is that I only live once, and I'm not scared of death anymore because I only live once. If I'm already thinking of death, then why not I keep myself here thinking I'm already dead? So I have no more fear now, because I'm now rebirthed. I'm now rebirthed. I'm now reborn. I'm so sorry for the, I'm not rebirthed. But yes, it's really like that. I'm now reborn, right? I'm dead, and so I'm reborn. It's only when something dies can it be reborn, right? Death is not the end of anything. Death is just the beginning of something else. So ego death, right? Any kind of spiritual death, or any kind of figuratively speaking death, all these kind of things can symbolize death. Like from puberty to adulthood, that also involves a transitioning from a young person to a mature person. That also involves death. So there are we actually throughout all our lives, we experience so many moments of deaths within ourselves. This is already death. Again and again, even the cells in our body, they are all renewing, right? They die and then they're renewed again, they die and then they're born again. So we are also like this. It really depends on how we choose to see life from many different perspectives, and that would shift our approach towards living life totally, because you have nothing to lose. The only thing that you can lose is this life. So seriously, like, then that is actually, you have nothing to lose but just keep going forward, right? Isn't it? Do you understand? It doesn't make sense. Like, you have nothing to lose. You really have nothing to lose. It's like, if you already are in that state of you don't fear death anymore, then you literally have nothing to lose. You literally can just go anywhere. You can just like, okay, I'm just gonna get a taste of life. I'm just gonna go look for myself. I'm gonna go within and find myself. I'm gonna go taste life at its fullest, because I have nothing to lose. Go for it. I'm all in. And that's the spirit. Okay. I'm not wearing contact lenses, nor am I wearing glasses, because my eyes are bright. I'm quite tired, and so I'm just filming this with my I am nearsighted. So yes, I hope this video finds you well, and you can make it. Okay. I have faith in you. Let's choose this way or this way. I have faith in you. Okay, I have faith in you. Okay. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye bye.